should education be a utility or should education be like a business model? The cost of going to college has risen nearly 5 times the rate of inflation over the last 50 years. Look at this 3D bar graph. Wow, and they even do the adjustment. So they do cost of actual public and private school, and then cost of public and private if it moved with inflation. Sometime between like the mid and late 80s to now, the scale as to which things got more expensive doesn't match up with like the scale as to which inflation rose, right? I'm trying to think at this moment, right? I went to a community college for my first 4 years. So yeah, do that math. When it was like this, I guess I didn't necessarily notice it, right? But when I went to like when I finished my undergrad degree, I definitely felt this because every semester I had to take out like a $20,000 loan. So over my time at St. Mary's, my 2 years I spent there, it cost me $80,000 to go, which obviously is a ton of money. Because that's the question, right? Should education be a utility or should education be like a business model? And we talk about that a lot in this stream, right? If the cost of going to college increased consistently with the US inflation rate over the last 50 years, students would be paying anywhere roughly $10K to $20K a year to attend private or public universities respectively. Okay. So public still half that of private, which is what this would suggest. But what it actually is this. The average annual price for attending public college is currently between $22,600 for in-state and $39,500 for out-of-state. In 1971, it was just $1,400 a year. My first year of college cost me $8,000. That was 2005. 4.6 times the rate of inflation during the last 50 years. Since I was an actual idiot in high school and college, I never qualified for any grants or scholarships. There's only like 2 grants that I applied or that I was able to get, and they were basically like the give money away to all students grants. Not that my parents weren't supportive, they just didn't understand why college costs so much, I think. And that makes sense. They never went to college. So why would they know how much college costs? If your bachelor degree that you're getting is in a saturated field, let's just say psychology, or let's say sports management or something like that, the cost of education and what you're getting back from it in terms of employment opportunities, this is devaluing higher education more and more. I absolutely believe that. And, you know, there are 2 answers here, right? There are 2 steps. One step is in the direction of if higher education is being devalued, whether it's business or external factors that are not related to the education field, or the demands of industry are becoming too rapidly evolving for the realm of academia to catch up and keep up with the demands. Take the suggestion, right? Which is, if it's not worth your investment, then you might not want to do it. And this is actually advice I should have taken when I got out of high school. And this is one of those like parallel universes I think about. And if I exist in this one, I wonder how I am today. But in that one, like, I'm still a journalist. I still have a music reviews company, perhaps. I may be working for a PR firm or a management agency. I'm in the music industry still. And the reason I got there was through merit, not through graduate degrees. At some point in time, I may go back in this parallel universe and get a degree. But if I take my advice that I was given from a dear friend, pursue the thing I'm good at in that moment, college was not needed. If I'm already successful or nearing success in a particular industry and it requires no degree, maybe it's time to pursue that, right? So that's one option. The other option is above the level of a bachelor degree, you perhaps have less saturation. But even at that moment, even in those sort of steps, you're going to get more and more saturation. I do agree with the sentiment that maybe the bachelor degree is losing value. And in my opinion, the best way to change that is to fight for the idea and vote for the idea that education is a utility, and education should not be a for-profit business model governed by people who say they're a part of nonprofit, but do things with profit in mind. If we were able to fully support the public college education system in the United States through levy, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Literally no one is surprised that if you make school impossibly difficult to afford, then you're going to see less people going to college.